Not necessarily so great for the animals, though, as it can make them easy targets for poachers. And unfortunately, from time to time, we do still have some problems with poachers around here. So we've got over 800 square miles out here on the reserve, so we have some airborne wardens flying over, just making sure everything's okay. So as we're heading in here, just have to check in with them, let them know we're coming on out. Let's go ahead and see if they're in radio range now. Airborne control, this is Simba 1. Come in. Jumbo Wilson, we are entering the reserve at the Little Ituri Force to begin our 2 weeks now. Over.
Up your course, Simba 1. Keep your eyes open and drive carefully. You should see lots of animals.
So the heads up, Wilson. Well, folks, I do see one off to the right. It's kind of to the left of that clearing out there. It's an okapi. Kind of looks like zebra from this side almost, because you just see its backside.
Oh, yeah.
But those zebra stripes are actually okapi really with zebra-looking stripes are no relation to the zebra. They're actually the only known relative of the giraffe. They are very shy and reclusive animals, as you can tell. Weren't discovered by the Western world until 1901, making them the last major mammal to be discovered. Now we're coming around down here towards this watering hole. Hopefully a pretty good place to see. Yeah, there is a black rhino up there. Great place to see some of the most rare species. Black rhinos are definitely a rare species these days. And they can weigh about 3,000 pounds with charge speeds of up to 35 miles an hour. And they have a very thick hide which helps them repel all of their predators except for man. Unfortunately, over the years, man has killed hundreds of thousands of black rhinos for their horns. There's only about 5,000 remaining in all of Africa today. But it looks like one is still torn out of our view here. Pretty lucky to see one at all, though. Looks like a couple greater kudu coming up this way. They're going to be over here on the right. Now, both of these are females. You can tell because they don't have horns. Only the males have horns. And they are the second largest member of the antelope family in Africa, standing out, weighing up to about 750 pounds. Way back in the clearing off to the left, you can kind of see an orangish-brown animal moving around back there in some of the bushes. And that would be a walrus. They're often called the ghost of the forest because they are so rarely seen.
Right there.
And we're going to go ahead and head out towards the Safi River now. Usually a really good place to see some hippos. Now, I know everybody's excited to see some hippos, right? Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Hippos. Rubberneck.
Here's Giants.
Kind of hard to tell with the glare on the water down there. Could be completely submerged out there if there's any around.
Oh, there.
Yeah, they're actually out of the water. Pretty strange to see it out of the water during the day. Hippos generally only come out of the rivers at night. It's to eat, but it looks like it's getting a head start on the eating thing right now. They can eat between 100 and 150 pounds of grass each night, actually. Now, when hippos are born, they weigh about 85 pounds. Fully mature males can turn the scales in well over 5,000 pounds.
Two
You
of
see it
them.
moving around out in the water
Three
like
of
that,
them.
kind of looks like they could be swimming, but hippos actually very rarely swim. They usually just sink down to the bottom and walk along the bottoms of the river. It's a lot easier for them that way. Did we miss a show?
Yeah. Did you get that too? I'm recording all of it.
Just a second, folks. We are going to be going across this old bridge here. Like a lot of the bridges on the reserve, too. This one has seen some better days, so everybody please remain seated.
There's a hippo down in there.
The one down below the bridge. Please remain fully seated back there, folks. Nile crocodiles down there below the bridge. And they are much larger and more aggressive than the American alligator, and they can bite down with almost 1,200 pounds per square inch of pressure. Enough to crush the bones. They can grow to be about 20 feet long, and they can even go an entire year without eating because they can conserve their energy so well. Constantly always very hungry to eat us. We're getting out of here. Head on out towards the savannah now. Completely different sort of ecosystem.
Simba 1, come in.
Jumbo Wilson, Simba 1 by. What have you got for us now?
Just wanted to let you know that my ground patrol has seen a lot of elephant activity near the red clay pit. You definitely want to check out that area.
Cool, thanks for the heads up, Wilson. We're going to head over that way shortly. Over. All right, folks, well, we are here at the savannah now. Lots of different plants and animals to see out here. And speaking of different, take a look at this big tree over here on your right. Now, that is a baobab tree. They can live to be about 3,000 to 4,000 years old. They're often referred to as upside-down trees because just like that one is now, they can remain completely leafless about 9 months out of the year. Here we are.
There's a rock.
View of the savannah. Savannas like this are part of the Great Serengeti grasslands that stretch hundreds of miles across East Africa. Each year, millions and millions of animals migrate through here, all parts of the largest migrations on Earth. These are home to some of the most famous species like giraffes, elephants, lions, cheetahs. So hopefully we get to see some, if not all of those out here. This is all part of that wild Africa that we are working so very hard to save and to protect. So Thompson's gazelle over there on the right, little tan ones there. Now those aren't babies, that is a common misconception. They are fully grown, only getting about 40 to 50 pounds each. When they're born, they actually weigh just about 3 or 4 pounds and can probably fit in the palm of your hand. And all the animals that live out here do play a very big part in creating this landscape that you see around you. Elephants will come through here almost like bulldozers. They'll knock over trees, which helps grasses to spread around. Giraffes will trim up some of those lower branches, which allows more light to come through, helping new grass grow. Then zebras, wildebeest, and antelope pulling up the older grass, which gives the new grass the space it needs to grow. So in a balanced system, there's plenty of food for everybody out here on the savannah. Does anybody know what all these tall cones of earth are for around here?
Trees.
Not ants, termites. Each mound is home to millions and millions of termites. What you see up here above the ground, as big as some of these may look, it's actually the smallest part. Some of them can go 50 to even 60 feet below the surface. And over the years, they get about as hard as concrete too, so elephants like to use some of the really tall ones as scratching posts. And once they collapse and get worn down by those elephants, some of the smaller species will climb up on top of those and use them as lookouts to spot their predators in the tall savanna grasses.
Hi, mister.
Looks like some animals just up here around the next couple of beds. Maybe should be a pretty good look at those, hopefully. We talked about it.
Look at those pellets.
Yeah. You know,
That's deer. They look like beans. You see them? Oh.
At any point, if anybody has any questions back there, you're welcome to shout them out, or you could just write them down so we don't forget them. When we stop and make camp tonight, we'll talk about those around the campfire. We'll do that each day. We'll talk about animals, sing songs. It's a good time. One of these nights, I'll make you my nice termite stew, too. It's got a nice bite to it. Looks like some wildebeest just under these bushes up here. Looks like that's what's causing the slowdown here. Oh yeah, there's a Maasai giraffe. You can just see its head sticking up over the hill there.
Maybe not be able to see.
We'll get a better look just on the other side over here. Giraffes usually aren't loners, so that means there's some more around over there too.
I saw it.
A few of those wildebeest here under the bushes. White-bearded wildebeest. They have the largest migration of any single species here in Africa. Each year over 1.5 million migrate throughout the whole continent. In fact, their migration is such a major part of their lives that whenever their babies are born, they're actually up and running within 15 minutes of birth, just to make sure that they can keep up with the rest of the herd. Going out here to the right. So you got a few different giraffes up here in the palm trees in front of us. Two different species it looks like out there, reticulated and Maasai. I'll point out the differences once we get a little bit closer here.
Oh, there's two more right here.
What's over there?
Wildebeest. Three.
Some big holy cattle over here on the right too. Big horns over here. Check out the size of those horns. Those can get almost 6 feet long, and up to 20 inches around at the base, but they really don't weigh a whole lot. Alright, so here's a pretty good view of those giraffes. Looks like most of them are Maasai giraffes, but the one closest to us here, and then there's another one a little bit farther back in there too, and off on its own. Those are reticulated giraffes. Reticulated giraffes are the tallest land animal, getting almost 20 feet tall, whereas Maasai giraffes usually average about 16 feet tall. Maasais are also a little bit darker in color with more irregular spots. These tan animals here, these are Patterson's eland, largest member of the antelope family in Africa. Can stand up to 6 feet tall at the shoulder and weigh almost 2,000 pounds.
Zimmerman, this is Wilson. What is your location? Over.
We're almost to Monkey Point. Over.
Keep your eyes open for me. We picked up a baby elephant that was wandering off on its own. We can't find the mother. I'm afraid torches may be in the reserve.
Copy that, Wilson. I don't like the sound of that at all. Keep us informed here. I'll give you a call if we see anything unusual out this way, too. Over. Not good news. Maybe elephants just you don't wander too far off from their mother's side. Now, we're almost to the red clay pits, though. Wilson said he saw some elephants around there earlier, so hopefully we'll have the same luck. Right now that we are at this area called Monkey Point, it's over here on your left. We call it that because once in a blue moon there is a family of mandrills that'll wander through there. I don't see any around right now, though. Found some shelter for the evening. And sometimes I can't get this Harami radio station in through here, though, too. Let me see if I can tune that in for you guys. It's one of my favorites here. Wow. There we go. Yeah, welcome to sing along back there if you know the words. Guess you haven't spent enough time in Broadway yet, have you? The song's on the radio every 30 minutes these days. Folks, there is an elephant out there to the right there. Bull elephant. You can tell that's a bull because he's off on his own. They don't hang around with the herds. Once they're about 15 or 16 years old, they're pretty much kicked out of the herd. They really stick around in one place much too long after that.
Oh, you can see. Take a picture of the ball.
This whole purchase is looking so good, folks. You guys want to keep going? Brave it out?
Yeah.
I like the sound of that, though. Why don't you cross your fingers back there? Just cutting her tunics a little bit short. Oh, hang on. Lead right, lead right. The other right. There you go. Whew.